This is The Download from Sounds Profitable, your daily source for essential news in the business of podcasting. I'm Gavin Gaddis. Here's what you need to know for today, Wednesday, August 19th. First up, a reminder that the Sounds Profitable Business Summit is coming up. The inaugural Business Summit at Terminal 5 in New York City is on September 14th and 15th. This exclusive partner-only event brings together the industry's top brands, agencies, publishers, and platforms for 2 days of research-backed insights, strategic conversations, and meaningful networking. If you're already a Sounds Profitable partner, you can claim your ticket today. If you're not a partner yet, you can become one now and buy your Summit Pass and join the conversation shaping what's next in podcast advertising. Now for a top story, the Podcast Academy launches submission phase of 2027 Ambies. That's right, you can now submit to the 2027 Ambies. It's annual awards program recognizing the year's standout podcasts. Members of the Podcast Academy pay $160 per entry, and non-members pay $210 across 23 show categories spanning business, comedy, documentary, fiction, news, and politics, true crime, and podcast of the year. This cycle adds Best Music Podcast and Episode of the Year, and a new advertising content category joins Shows and Talent with 3 awards for Best Ad Read, Best Branded Podcast, and Podcast Advertiser of the Year. Next up, Triton Digital announces Australian podcast ranker data for July 2026. Triton has released the new ranker with Mamamia Out Loud holding the top spot. Hamish and Andy are in second. ABC News top stories cracked the top 3 for the first time, and news, society, and culture and sports ranked the most popular categories in Triton's Demos Plus data. The measurement covers more than 35 participating publishers, including 9, Nova Entertainment, ARN iHeart, and the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, using Triton's IAB Tech Lab certified podcast metrics service under version 2.2 of the measurement guidelines. Next up, AI ads are getting a nutrition label. The IAB has updated its AI transparency and disclosure framework, introducing a standardized sparkle icon or clear text label for advertising when AI materially changes what consumers see, hear, or interact with. Routine post-production and standard audio enhancement do not trigger a label, but synthetic images, deep fakes, and AI-generated voices do. The harder problem is that disclosure has to travel with the creative as it moves through brands, agencies, demand-side platforms, ad servers, and publishers. CTV's fragmented delivery risks dropping the metadata along the way. The update lands as New York, California, South Korea, and the European Union AI Act roll out their own disclosure rules, and IAB research found 73% of consumers said clear disclosure would increase or have no effect on their likelihood of buying. Next up, and our final top story for today, more than 11,000 HLS video episodes are now live on Apple Podcasts through Buzzsprout. Buzzsprout reports that more than 1,000 of its hosted shows have published over 11,000 HLS video episodes on Apple Podcasts. Among 562 established shows, median Apple Podcast downloads rose 19% in the 28 days after a show's first HLS episode compared to the prior 28 days, based on Buzzsprout's IAB Tech Lab certified analytics. The company points to Apple's HLS video format as a growing driver of discovery, citing shows whose episode downloads climbed well past historical averages after adding video. As for the rest of the news, the webinar recording of Ask a Marketer, How Advertisers Read the Research, featuring Christina Rubino, Tori Murray, and Tom Webster, is now live on YouTube. Podscribe has opened registration for the Q3 2026 Performance Benchmark Report webinar that'll be Wednesday, August 26th at noon Eastern Time, previewing streaming genre benchmarks, attribution windows, and Apple HLS adoption before the full report goes public. The Podglomerate breaks down what belongs in a podcast sponsorship pitch deck, from audience profiling and proof points to sponsorship tiers that help creators land brand partnerships. Transistor has added an MCP server that connects a podcaster's hosting account to AI assistants like Claude and ChatGPT with tools for catalog management, publishing, bulk editing, transcripts, and analytics. Flight Story is expanding its U.S. brand partnerships team with a new account manager focused on Stephen Bartlett's Diary of a CEO and Hot Smart Rich. New Westwood One analysis from Pierre Bouvard finds podcast ranks second among adults 18 to 34 and 25 to 54, ahead of YouTube, TV, and major social platforms. And adding podcasts to Spotify and Pandora meaningfully expands digital audio's combined daily reach. Finally, Amplitude Media Partners Marcus Pfaff warns that Spotify's Megaphone is quietly adding geographic restrictions that block some publisher-sold ad campaigns with little documentation on the legal basis. That does it for today's issue of The Download. You can find links to everything I just talked about by clicking the link in your show notes to go to the episode version on our website, which has everything I just talked about. You also can subscribe to the newsletter version to get them sent straight to your inbox every day. Today's issue was written and produced by myself, Tom Webster, Brian Barletta, and Molly Demillier. For Sounds Profitable, I'm Gavin Gaddis, and we'll see you tomorrow.